How did you hook up with Mace for his comeback single, Nothing?
That was incredible. So Kuda Love manages Mace. He managed Nelly. He actually used to manage one of the singing groups that I was in growing up. And as I started doing the songwriting, you know, it became more popular as far as Eric Bellinger, the songwriter. And it was always, Kuda's always like, that's E from the group. That's E from the group. So he called me like, yo, you popping out here with this writing and you doing your thing with the artistry. I'm going to send you a beat. If you nail the beat, that's going to be the single. We already know the beat is the single for sure. So I was like, the beat got to be crazy then. So he sent the beat and I literally sent back the hook within 10 minutes. As soon as I heard the beat, one time I just started singing it. And I didn't even, it just came out of nowhere because I guess that was in my head at the time. But I didn't even think on that when it was just a no-brainer. It was catchy. I was joking. And my boy, Critical, was in the room with me and was like, yo, that's hard. And I was like, shut up, you crazy. He was like, nah, that's hard. And I was like, all right, I'm going to send it to him, see what he think. Literally sent it a voice note from my iPhone. And then he heard it and was like, that's it. And I was like, what? And then he was like, yeah, I was like, really record it when you get home. Because I was in Germany at the time. Luckily, I was up because I was still used to LA time. It was 4 a.m. out there. So he was like, yo, as soon as you get back, record the hook. That's it. We going with it. And the thing about the music business is people talk all the time. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. You know? And then he was like, so we shooting a video? I was like, oh, he's for real. You know? And then I met Mace and it was all love ever since.
Why did you decide to put him on the remix to I Don't Want Her?
I think we were just in a vibe, you know, we were building at the time. It was just a great thing for the chemistry. Is like, yo, he was like, you did one for me. If you ever need, you did a hook for me. If you ever need a verse, no problem. And at the time, I Don't Want Her was just picking up. And I know that, you know, Mace has such a huge following, not only in New York, but all over, you know, the world. So it just only made sense to put him on it, especially with me being from the West Coast and, you know, trying to branch out and, you know, broaden my, you know, region as far as, you know, me, the artist from LA. And, you know, I'm sure that got a lot more ears from it just because of his verse.
Okay. So probably your best known single for yourself is I Don't Want Her.
Yeah, definitely.
Featuring Problem or Mace, depending on what
Yeah.
And I think it was like clearly made for the radio or for the club.
Immediately.
As where most of your music is very traditional, smooth R&B. Yeah. Was that kind of a calculated move? Like, was it was a conscious decision to do that?
Yeah, because I have so much R&B, slow, mid-tempos, never really had an up-tempo, especially, it was like 90s in the BPM of the 90s to 100. So for me, I'm like, nah, I'm a more smooth R&B singer dude. And I had a song that we tried to work at radio, but the DJs were like, yo, this is tough, you know, because all the songs now, especially with DJ Mustard, they're fast, they're club, you know. So to get on the radio, you got to do something, you know, that's going to compete or that we can mix in smooth and mix show. So I was like, all right, well, how can I do that with not necessarily just, Mustard, I need a beat, you know what I mean? Because I know we grew up together in LA. And it was like, all right, let's do this. Let's flip this sample. So everybody's doing the samples, and then the crisscross one was one that I thought could be dope. And I just wrote the song like specifically for the radio. You know, it was like, we need to get on the radio because everything we've been doing underground, people are rocking with it. But when you get on that radio, it broadens your spectrum, you know, completely, and it did, and it worked. So now with that formula, that's why I was able to run with all the other singles and rappers that I'm featured on, from The Game to Problem to all these other songs. And my next single, of course, is the same thing, because it's like, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep, you know, figuring out a way to brand myself and not compromise my sound, my R&B sound, but still you got to do what's working right now.
Why did you choose to release the Rebirth with like 34 tracks?
Man, I just look at it like everybody's doing music, like putting out music, new artists. You have laptop studios at your house. It's so many people doing music. So many people are flooding with just projects, mixtapes, singles, you name it. So, of course, I was like, what can I do differently? What can I do to make myself stand out or separate myself from the others? And a lot of people at the time were putting out EPs with like 5 songs, 7 songs, 9 at the most, you know what I mean? And for me, I was like, yo, I really want people to get to know me. I really want people to fall in love with my character, to listen to my storytelling, and to have more to actually cling to. So I looked at it like, if I put out this many songs, as long as they're incredible, you know, because that's the thing. A lot of times it's like too many songs and some of them are whack and they're like, it's all right. I'm like, nah, I'm going to put out this many songs and they're all going to be crazy to where you can listen to the whole thing through. And I looked at that as statement enough, and we used that as like a marketing tool, you know, because people were just talking about it. Like, have you heard this project? It has this many songs and they're all good. No way. You got to listen, you know, and that helped a lot, you know.
Right. How did you approach making Choose Up Season? Why did you name it Choose Up Season?
So, Choose Up Season is what the LA lifestyle is, you know. Everybody it's the opportunity. It's a land of opportunity, you know, from men, from women looking at the guys like, okay, cool, he might be the one, but he might make it. He's playing in the college. He might go to the NBA. He might go to the NFL. And the same thing for guys. There's so many women. It's like, okay, she's a model. She's doing this, or she's an artist. You know, it's so many different people that are doing their thing. Everybody moves to LA, so you got to choose up, and that's for real. You know what I mean? Like, you really, so I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna make a project called Choose Up Season. It's about the single life. Every single song is connected from number 1 to number 9. Each song leads into the next one. And then at the end of Choose Up Season, it's gonna say to be continued. So I'm using Choose Up Season, which is a mixtape, but it's kind of like a movie that's to be continued, and it's free. It's a free project, free mixtape, strictly used as a marketing tool to promote my album. So every time people listen to Choose Up Season, I want them to know that cuffing season is on the way. So I got Choose Up Season coming October 1st, and then I got cuffing season, and it's going to be dropping first quarter next year, like, you know, after Valentine's Day. You know, everybody's going to be booed up, and, you know, it's like, all right, cool, let's separate the two, you know, Choose Up Season, cuffing season. Cuffing season is going to be just all love songs, like Single Life is overrated. Like, you don't need to do that. Go ahead and get you a boo. Go ahead and fall in love. You know, I just look at it like so many people are turning up to the ratchet music. It's like we can still turn up, and you can still turn up with your girl. You can still turn up with your man. You can still turn up in love. And I feel like when people hear it, the people that are in relationships, they're going to appreciate it because no one's speaking up for them. And the people that aren't in relationships, it's going to sound like that's the good life, you know, when they hear the music. So they're going to, you know, possibly settle down. So I just want to be one of the guys to play a part in, you know, molding the society and the culture and the generation from the ratchet tendencies to love again, you know. I'm an R&B dude, so it's like, why not take my talent as a songwriter to really tell stories, to make it cool to be in love? Like, it's okay.